Hello everyone, my name is Philippe McManus. I run Facts and Dimensions Limited, along with my colleagues James Rice, the Chief Technology Officer, Beth Booth, the Senior Technician, and Daniel McManus, the Junior Database Developer. The purpose of this video, I'm just going to literally load in the next data file for this table, diagnostic weights and activity, so that you can see the kind of typical work that's required to get data from these Excel files into the SQL database. Before I do that, I'll just spend 1 minute just giving a bit of background of what UKHF Facts is, so that you can get appreciation. So, UKHF Facts is a SQL Azure database that we've built. We populate it with a wide variety of statistics data that's used mainly by the NHS. We're adding more and more data sets to it every month, and which data sets we choose is largely determined by our users asking for different data sets. But other than that, we just stick to basically everything in the NHS data statistics website. The HES data statistics you can get in NHS Digital, prescribing, onsdata.gov, basically various data that we think is useful, but we're largely driven by what you guys ask for. So you can see some of the data here: PROMs, QOF, reference costs, RTT, SITREPs, all sorts of stuff there. So, but as I say, I'll do another video on how to use that data. We're going to do tutorial videos and all sorts, but for this first video I figured I'll just record myself loading in this next data set. So I've done May 2007, and I'll just quickly show you that. Here's the file, May 2007. Nice, this period has got the date in the actual data set, so we can actually derive that from the data. And here's the data. Now I'll just show you that data in the table so you can sort of get familiar. The activity that we're loading in this example, waiting list data, is in a different table. Let's hide those columns. So let's have a look at let's say 5 kg. Let's close all of these so I can start over. So this is the Azure database. I'm connected to this factsanddimensions.database.windows.net. That is an Azure server. You can see I'm connected live. And this is so easy for anyone to connect to that database. You just call us for username and password and you're in. So if I just demonstrate the data, actually this particular one, I need to go to our local repository because we haven't made this particular table live yet. So the repository is an exact copy anyway, apart from the fact that it's got the non-live data in it. If we just do a new query, select star from this table, oops, where correlation code equals 5 kg. Snapshot equals 2007 0531, and there it is. Plan test 34, waiting list test 70, 34 plan test, 70 waiting list test. Gives you an idea. So we're just taking the data from the Excel files and sorting them out into a simple, straightforward SQL table that you can query. I know some of you will understand that this has come from Unify 2, so we should just get it directly from Unify 2, which we will start doing. We've passed level 2 of the Information Governance Toolkit, and we're waiting for our key fob. I'm not sure if the oldest data is still available, but there's a hell of a lot of data sets out there that don't come from Unify 2 that we're loading in. So this system we're showing you, even though I'm loading in data that could have been more easily taken from Unify 2, I just want to show the example of what we have to go through. And by the way, I've dealt with Unify 2 myself, and even with getting data from Unify 2, it still needs to be verified. So I'll now close this, the May one. So we've got the figures, it's all passed, been signed off, everything's nice. It will go in the next run. Now I'm going to go for June 2007 file. So new snapshot. I don't need to get a new file because I've already downloaded all the files, because I'd already loaded in the waiting list figures from these same files, so I've already got them. And even if I tried to download the data for that file, it wouldn't let me download it again, because it would notice that the hash bytes, the hash for that file already exists in our list of already downloaded files. So let's get that new file. We're going to do the June 2007 file, which is this one. Filter to that file, and then start filling in these. Apologies for you being able to hear my keyboard. It's got an inbuilt microphone in my laptop. So I'll just put ones in here for now. So that creates the metadata record, and this data goes into a table in the Azure database that you guys get to see, along with other data that shows the URL we went to get the file, and various other information that helps you understand the data and its source. So this is the file I'm now downloading, and this is a screenshot of when we downloaded it back whenever it was. There it is. Trying to find that pink bit. Yeah, June 07, that's the one that I clicked on. So June 07 is the June 07 file. I need to use a PDF because this is one of those rare files where the file name doesn't have the date in, and the file contents also. No, this does have the file name in. This is the new format. Excellent. In that case, because this looks very similar to the format from the last file, this actually should load in straight away. Kind of would be a shame really, because I wanted to show a more difficult one, but anyway, never mind. Let's import this file. So that's imported the sheet into a varchar table. I'll just show you that table. Can you see that? Title, summary, period, 30th of June, all that stuff. It's exactly taken from the Excel file. The title, summary, period, 30th of June. We used a piece of software called XLS Converter. I'll put a link to it if anyone's interested. It's very good. It deals with all of the weird data sets that you can deal with, and it will convert any file into a pipe delimited file. And it doesn't do any messing about with weird codes that look like 10 to the power 15, you know, that kind of thing. So, got the file loaded into a flat sort of varchar staging table. Now we need a SQL script to convert that into data to go into the other table that you're used to. Here's the SQL script. Now if I just press import data, we'll run this script straight away and can take the data from the script and convert it into data for the actual diagnostic weights activity data pre-import table, and then then it will run a PostScript script to check that the figures that are created by the test area, which I'll talk through in probably another video because this might actually work straight away. Let's try import. Okay, it hasn't. They've changed it. I was so sure because it looks the same as the previous file. I was so sure. Okay, right. The column names have changed already. They've moved one along, or I don't know what. Right, we're going to find out. Copy this. So it's so disappointing when they move the column along or something like that. So that's the script that was run to load in the May data, and we're now using this script to load in the June data. I think I've already done this TDF check, but June 07. That's the other horrible thing is, now I don't need to check that because the date is in the actual file, then my date checking mechanism should be switched on, and it will be. I think that was the issue. The previous one they switched it off and then I put it back on again. And then switch insert off. I accidentally put that on. Yeah. There's the date checking code. Did they change? Oh, they changed it back to just SHA again. Why on earth did they do that? Okay, so let's just put that back to SHA in that case. So this is going to give me a checksum of. I removed it. This is going to give me the checksum of that row of headings. And what it does is the next time we run this script, one of the tests is the checksum of the headings the same as it was last time. And that's one of the several tests it can run to make itself happy that it will work okay. This should be a 1. Yeah. Okay. Effective date switched on, so we'll use that effective date. That means that the software will know that it can, if it can pass all the tests, it can actually sign it off itself. It doesn't need another person, human being, to actually do the sign off. We only do that where the effective date is not possible to calculate programmatically. So we want to do a sum field. So the field we're summing in this one is the planned test and procedures, which is appearing in. We need to just query the table. I must have closed the sheet. Yeah, I was doing that. Column 65. Yes, that moved along as well, isn't it? And where column 2 is not all code, well, that's probably changed as well, isn't it? Well, we'll have to go for where column 4 is not code. Oh, sorry, not name. And the same for the test that counts number of rows. You're probably thinking, well, we're counting and doing this test here, it's going to be the same. But no, we deliberately write the code in this testing area that gets a test the check values differently to the way, even different where clauses, as the only real way we can think to actually make sure that the check figures are a genuine check on the actual rows of data that are actually end up being loaded in. This bit, this will add up all of the columns that we want to add up, and what it does is, instead of going for the columns that we want to add up, which will be in the actual import script, to make sure that it's properly different to the import script, instead we list the columns that we want it to not add up. That way, if a new column appears unexpectedly, this would include it automatically, and if we didn't notice that, then the post test script will see that the check total of all of those numerical values has come out differently to the data actually loaded in, because we've missed out a column. So the columns we want to exclude are SHA code name. So they've changed all of the fields. Diagnostic ID, diagnostic test name, total waiting list, numbers waiting 6 plus 13 plus 26 plus. Well, actually, we don't need them because I've got that catch-all weeks one there, so I'll just take them out. Portion of 13. Well, we're not even using it anymore. Waiters. We'll leave that in because it doesn't matter. If it doesn't exist, it won't make any difference. Right, so now this is the second set of pre-tests. This is what's going to create the check numbers. Let's run that and see if it works. Nope, something was wrong. So let's see what it is. Error converting varchar type varchar to numeric. Yeah, that'll be that where clause hasn't taken account of the fact that the columns have all moved up one. So we actually want where column 4 is not name. That should do it really, but that one doesn't even matter. Let's try that again. Let's reset it. That's the easiest way to get rid of the temp tables. Right, that's a tick. That means that's all passed, and we can now just have a look at the contents of that test values table and check that it's right correctly. The sum of field, the planned test field, planned test and procedures field, the sum should be 85,003. And it is 85,003. The sum of all of the fields should be 962,937. 962,937. Good. So I'm happy that the test values are working. Now we move into the last part, which is the actual loading of the data into the pre-import table, which will then automatically get copied into the repository. So at the moment we've got column 2 firing into organisation code, but we actually want column 3 now. So I'll change that to 3. We've got 4 and 5 going into diagnostic ID and test name, but we actually want 5 and 6. So that's changed as well. Then we want column 63 going into commissioned from IS, but that field is no longer being populated. Yeah, it's not, so that's going to be null. And say if they did start populating it in the future, remember I said earlier, the test scripts earlier will just sum up all the columns I tell it to not to ignore, and if that column reappears, it would get summed up in the check number, and therefore the values wouldn't match and it would fail. So we couldn't miss it. And I don't mind it failing. I just want it. I want it to fail because I want the data that you guys query to be absolutely correct and 100% reliable, just like UKHD. Now, for those who don't know, UKHF Dimensions is our flagship tool, which is another bunch of tables of data. Look up codes on that. Right, we want planned 1, 65, unscheduled, waiting, 65, 66, 67, already know those column names because I've done this the same side. 65, 66, 67, going into planned, unscheduled, waiting as tests. Now, hopefully that'll work. No, something's different. Let's go to the bottom. The amount of rows actually managed to get in is 0, right? And I think I know why that is, because I need a different where clause. Let's go for where column 5 is not diagnostic ID. Let's try that. There we go. It's all gone in and it's passed the tests. And at the end here there's a procedure with a big lot of quite a big lot of post tests. It's passed all of them. Among them is testing that the automatically calculated check numbers match the actual numbers that have gone in. So I can now paste that as my. Oh, I need to actually create a new script. It won't let me paste it onto this script because I'm trying to paste it over one that already exists. So I need to actually copy it. Let's do this. Unlive this one, copy it, and then live this one. This is a new script. Give it a new number. Then copy this script. And you notice that when I copy and paste, have a bit of VBA, will just within the clipboard take out the values and put them back as placeholders. See, just says effective snapshot date instead of the actual date. Right, now I can run that. That should, if it fails any tests at all, it will fail. If not, it will load the data in. Oh, it has failed a test. I didn't actually expect that. Okay, let's just copy that back to here. Just test it again. I actually passed on that. Oh, I think I know what it might be. Let's see. I'll have to work it out then, won't I? Because I've already imported it before when I tried doing this video earlier. Delete it. Right, now import it. There you go, that's imported. It won't have filled in. And by the way, where I deleted it before, I'm about to show you when I sign off data. Once data is signed off, you can't delete it. So this is the June 2007 data. I'm going to have to fill in these figures because even though it's pre-calculated the check numbers and all that, it didn't pre-fill them in for me so that it can sign it off instantly. Because whenever I create a new unused before and untested before SQL script, I have to manually put in these figures as a further check that the SQL script is okay. So just go back to the file. The total for all the numbers 962937. Put that there, 962937. The number of rows 2206. Just check that is, because if there's any nulls, it will just won't count, will it? Yeah, that's 2206. And the sum for this column 85003. 85003. Apply changes. And promote. If it passes those tests, it will not only promote it to checked. Just doing it now. There we go. Not only has it set it to checked, but because it was able to programmatically confirm that the effective snapshot date I entered was correct by comparing it to that, it also signed it off. So now, the next time we run the Azure update, this table will get included. Actually, I tell a lie. We have an additional feature. We have to set a table to live. And because I've still got another 10 years of data to load in, and probably, I don't know what, an average of 1 or 2 a year where they'll just randomly change something. So it's going to be a bit of work to get those extra data files in, and then when we've done that, then it'll be set to true, and there'll be yet another table which will continue to update every month. That's it. Tune in, I'll start doing more videos. I'm going to do training videos, and I'm going to show you the data dictionary on the UKHF dimensions and all kinds of stuff. Thank you.